Hello my retro friends, thank you for finding my channel, Mike the Retro Realtor. On July 21st I attended Soerens annual Ford show. It was a very enjoyable show, the weather was perfect. On top of bringing my 1994 Lincoln Mark 8 convertible, I also took some time to take some videos of some of the cars I found really interesting from the 80s and 90s. I think the oldest one was a 78 Thunderbird and the newest one was a 2003 Marauder. So I hope you enjoy and I'll do a little talking on each one of the cars. This is a 1992 Mercury Capri. This is a chance when Ford decided to go up against Mazda, and they really came up short going after the Roadster. They made this car front-wheel drive. The four-cylinder was fine. They actually turbocharged it toward the end. It was a 5-speed manual, which is nice. The red hardtop does come off, and there's a soft top underneath. I met Paul, who showed me his 2004 Ford Thunderbird. This car is powered by a 3.9 liter V8, same engine that you would have found in the Lincoln LS from the same time. Also same chassis as the Lincoln LS. This is a rear-wheel drive car. I believe it's a 5-speed automatic. This car did come with a hardtop that's removable and has a soft top. This 2004 Thunderbird is part of the early 2000s trend to make cars that were made to look like cars of the 50s and 60s. And even before, with the example being a PT Cruiser, looks like a car from the 30s. Next we have this 1984 Mustang LX powered by the 5-liter V8. Power goes to the rear wheels and it has a 5-speed manual transmission. This LX is very original except for the pop-up doors that were done aftermarket. So a previous owner removed the door handles and made the car pop up. That's very good until your battery dies. So I want a big thank you to Larry for giving me a tour of his car. Very cool example of a mid-80s Fox body Mustang. Right in this beautiful specimen here. This is a 1978 Ford Thunderbird. Has a 400 cubic inch engine, 3-speed automatic, giving power down to the rear wheels. This one is highly spec'd out with the factory T-tops and factory bucket seats with the center shifting console. Very cool. My first car was a 79 Thunderbird, very similar body style, but not nearly as spec'd out as this one. This is a gorgeous example. This is a 1991 Mercury Grand Marquis. This was another very popular car. Rode on the Panther platform, which is a legendary platform that ran from, I believe, 1977 all the way up to 2010. This was what underpinned the Crown Victoria, the Mercury Grand Marquis, and the Lincoln Town Car. This car is powered by Ford's 5-liter V8 that was in so many other cars in 1991. This full-size sedan is body on frame. Mercury was up there with Buick and Oldsmobile at the time. Not quite as high as Cadillac and Lincoln, but still a very nice car. Rear-wheel drive, 4-speed automatic, connecting to the 5-liter V8. Huge trunk, everything you expect to see from an early 90s American sedan. This is a 1989 Lincoln Mark 7. The Mark 7 was a departure from Cadillac, where they were both floaty kind of luxury personal cars. With the Mark 7, they went from more floaty to more muscular, not quite as smooth ride, not quite as floaty ride, more firm ride, and then they continued on with the Mark 8 versus the Eldorado. Jim, the owner, was very proud of this car, and I see why. This is a beautiful example of a Mark 7. This was a great example of a personal luxury car in the late 80s, early 90s. Very muscular, very cool. This is a 2004 Mercury Marauder. Happens to be sitting next to my 1994 Lincoln Mark 8. The connection is these cars actually have basically the same engine and transmission. Both the 4.6 liter with the 32 valves and 4-speed automatic. They also happen to be rear-wheel drive. This one is a Panther body, which would be the underpinnings for the Grand Marquis, the Lincoln Town Car, and the Ford Crown Victoria. This is an excellent example of muscle and luxury. Look at those leather seats, great buckets. This thing has 302 horsepower, so it's not the fastest car out there, but this is just a very nice example of an early 2000s muscle sedan with its V8 power and rear-wheel drive. This is a 1991 Ford F-150. I was not able to find the owner on this one, so I don't know a whole lot about it, but I do appreciate that this was a work truck, and these were everywhere in the early 90s. It came with a V6 or a V8, I don't know on this truck. It is a 3-speed automatic delivering power to the rear wheels. You don't see too many of these on the road anymore because they're just used up. But if you can find one like this one, very interesting. This is a 1984 Ford Mustang LX with a 3.8 liter V6. This is decked out just like my first convertible, which happened to be an 86 Mustang convertible with a 3.8 liter. Not very fast, but nice little cruising car. Very cool rear drive car with a 3-speed automatic. Great convertible these days, and very cool to be just cruising around. Here we got a Ford Bronco. I am kicking myself because I didn't take down any mental notes. I didn't talk to myself while I was filming. If the owner actually sees this, I would love to come over and give the stats on this bad boy. Going off memory, I think it's about a 78, 77. I believe it's a 351 underneath the hood, 3-speed automatic, 4-wheel drive. But again, I am just taking a guesstimate at best. I mean, this thing was just so awesome. I completely forgot to read the notes on this car and take any notes. But look at how beautiful this thing is. I absolutely love it. This is a 1981 Ford Thunderbird. This is definitely a Malaise era car. We went from the huge 1978 Thunderbird, got shrunk down to this generation that ran from 1980 to 1982. This was not a very popular car. It did not sell nearly as well as the previous generation. And then when they came out with the turbo coupes in 1983, that sold much better. So seeing an example like this is actually kind of unusual, and to see one in this good a shape is really nice. I believe it's powered by a 5-liter V8 matted to a 3-speed automatic, and this is rear-wheel drive. This is a pristine example of a 1981 Ford Thunderbird. So that was kind of a run through of my experience at the Soerens Ford car show last Sunday. I took footage of the cars that I found the most interesting. There's a lot more way older cars, but I don't have that connection with the cars from the 70s and 60s and beyond. The 84 Mustang, I basically had that car. The 78 Thunderbird, I basically had that car. So this is stuff that I really connected to. I'll be dropping some shorts of some of the cars where I was able to talk to the owner. So that'll be a little more in depth. Really looking forward to that. Till next time.